Hi there, my name is Riley Grove, and I'm doing a case study 1 today on the episode of Fresh Off the Boat, The Shunning on Expectancy Violations Theory. So, Fresh Off the Boat is a comedy series about a Taiwanese family who comes to America, moving from Washington, D.C., then to Orlando, in their attempt to make new relationships in their new community. Expectancy violations examples in Fresh Off the Boat, the episode includes first, where Eddie, the narrator of the show, gets bullied for not wearing Jordans. He is shunned because of his lack of cultural expectancy of wearing Jordans and the way that he dresses and everything from those people at school, and cannot fit in as a result. And this is an example of physical differences, but it's also a cultural difference, which we see more examples of in the episode as it continues. Another example of expectancy violation in the episode is the mother, Jessica, who also cannot fit in, but this time it's with the neighborhood women because of their differences in culture with specifically NASCAR and their food choice. So there's a couple scenes where this is an example, a reoccurring thing that happens with the expectancy violations in the episode being cultural. So, number one, there's a scene early on when they're having a brunch or something with the women, and Jessica is passing around her special sticky tofu dish, and none of the women take it because they're all pretty traditional white women who, are not super familiar with that kind of cuisine, right? So, there's that issue where she's trying to fit in, and the expectancy to fit in. There's a clash in cultures, and so she's having difficulty there. And then the other thing is there's a theme in the episode where there's a NASCAR viewing event, and they have to figure out what's up with that and how to adapt to figuring out what NASCAR is. And so there's those two cultural clashes between them in the episode that Jessica has to deal with specifically. The dad also has some issues fitting in as well, and has some examples of expectancy violations in the episode because of the misconception that he has in a particular scene with his neighbor. So the neighbor, whose wife is significantly younger than him, a pretty traditionally Western idea to have a second wife, number one, and then number two, to have a wife who is much, much younger than you, and he has that misconception, and hilarity ensues, but is very awkward and creates this, again, clash and lack of communication, which makes it difficult to create a better relationship with that. In the episode, the narrator of the show shows how surface level his relationships with his classmates will end up being. He's stuck in this world of middle school where all approval of people is desired above all else, and will do anything and everything in order to gain that approval, even if those people he seeks approval from are not desirable. His relationship with his family is strong. He's got a good family dynamic, as he is very joking and casual with them, as most family members are. So it's not a super bad relationship. He's got a good relationship with his family, but he's struggling to fit in with his friends, and a lot of the family is struggling to fit in, except for the one little brother. The main lesson to learn from this episode is the difference in cultures and the expectancy violations that ensue because of those differences create problems for our characters. The old relationships and friendships of all the family members are totally culturally different from the ones they have in Orlando, and that creates a lot of uncertainty and change in the behavior to gain the approval from those people, right? The episode provides a look into non-physical differences as opposed to proximity and eye movements and all these physical differences and clashes. It focuses on the non-physical, specifically differences in culture, differences in like the age differences with with him and then the older neighbor gentleman who has the younger wife as well, as opposed to the physical cues and the behavior of those characters. As always, these are my references and notes, and I appreciate your time.